Okay, back to the maintenance bay because that's where my soldering iron and all my other tools are. Had an issue and haven't resolved it yet, but trying to get this ribbon cable to reconnect is being troublesome at best. So I will at a later date try to fix the other two. Went down, and I hate to spend money on this, but you know, a good project just can't be left alone. And but the reason I got the other ones I learned for $10 is because those are last year's models. These are the newer ones, $34. But got a bigger, better battery in it, which is nice. A little bit more features. Not that I'm really going to use them, but nonetheless, picked this one up for $34. And the only other real change I see, they switched to these. They're not. They look uninsulated, but they've got a bunch of like fiber wrapped around in them. And what that's doing, I realized that since the speaker that goes in this guy, which is right here, 4 ohms at 3 watts, there is so little power consumption in this. You're pushing almost 0 amps and minuscule amounts of volts, that there's just not enough voltage in here to break the gap that the fibers create, even when these are right next to each other. So that's how they're getting away with not having insulated, or at least traditionally insulated wire in here. So relocated the headphone jack. It's the same one I was using in the previous setup. And then I relocated the potentiometer to the back. I'll put a nice little guitar knob on there. I just don't have one to put on. So, yep, that's the update, and it should work fine now. Okay, so final product, almost. So everything is set up and works fine. And left the, here's the output jack with this one because I didn't have to remove a headphone jack. It's still in here. The only thing I removed out was the speaker because there's no point having it in. Potentiometers in back, and again that just kind of lets us fine tune exactly how much signal is getting through or not. Ooh, a little scratchy there. Weird. And then so if I bring over, so we're this, and we still have our volume control on here, all the way down to mute. The only thing that's coming in is you can hear that it sounds like white noise, and I'm sure it has something to do. They might have changed how they amplified this internally, but this isn't grounded, and you'll hear the difference. So the problem is, as soon as I pick this thing up, let's see if I get down here. You should really hear that. So my suspicion is that because this is not grounded, that issue's coming about. And I'm not sure how I'm going to solve that, or even if I'm going to. It's only notable at low level volume. Once you start moving the volume up past, level 2 or 3, the white noise just gets overpowered by the music. I mean, white noise stays at this little level, and then everything else you play after that just takes over. So, minus that one little glitch, I'm totally happy with this. Again, now any device, period, that has a 3.5 mil input, auxiliary input, or a quarter jack input, because I could always use an adapter, now becomes Bluetooth compatible. Okay, so a little bit of an update. Basically, we took the new speaker project we were working on, and I didn't actually disassemble these because I didn't want to take out the headphone jack. And I'm using the
output signal from the original Bluetooth speaker we used to feed the signal onto the amplifier. The difference is that high buzz or high pitched frequency that's coming through at the beginning or at the low volume levels is a lot less noticeable with this speaker or with this Bluetooth than it is with this Bluetooth. Now, why that is, I'm not sure. I'm sure it has something to do with the design of the individual system. I've tried using the ground on the XLR output on this just to give it an earth ground, and that's produced spotty results at best. So I don't think it's a grounding problem. My last thought, because I have so much wire in here, I'm either picking up radio frequency, which I'm not sure how to deal with, or, well, I really don't have an or. My only other thought is that maybe I'll put in a coil and see if I can't deal with it that way, but that may or may not work. But for now, I'm 99% satisfied with the project. I'll put this guy back together. The reason I'm using these is because I can't get the charge ports to link back up in a way that'll let me keep the battery recharged. So it doesn't do you a lot of good if you can't keep the battery charged up.
Okay, so now on to the so what about this whole project. Why do we do this? A couple of reasons. Number one, initially I thought, it'd just be fun to be able to play music while my phone is still hooked up on a charger that's not located near where I want to play music. But then I got to thinking, more practically, we use this bass amp for PT. Sometimes we'll go down on typically Thursdays and we'll set up a big round robin of exercises, and we play both music and there's a clock we've built in a program we downloaded that tells us to work for 1 minute and you get 30 seconds of break, and it tells you which exercise you're on, break for 30 seconds, begin again in 3, 2, 1 to the next exercise, so on and so forth. But we also do Bring Sally Up, which is basically a squat and push-up challenge. If you're confused, consult the Oracle. And we're going to take in this means I can keep my phone with me while we still do the exercise. I keep track of time this way. So we're going to use it for that. I'm also going to use it for, I play worship music with a band for our church, both back in the States and then here on Camp Hovey. Well, we actually play at Camp Stanley. Sometimes we have to practice here. But sometimes it'll be a song we're not super familiar with, and we'll want to hear what the song sounds like. Your two choices are you take the phone and you hit play and hold up to the mic, or you take all your gear off, run to the soundboard, plug it in, or you leave your phone back there and give someone the passcode, or you hope that your sound tech, assuming you have one, has that song on his phone, or he's going to have to YouTube it. I'd rather take that Bluetooth speaker, plug it into the auxiliary input of the soundboard, and be able to just play whatever song I want when needed right there. We just go, hey, here's what it sounds like, bam, and then it plays through the house system, clear as day. We don't get any weird distortion, any feedback from trying to play the little speaker out into the microphone with the lead or backup vocalist is using. So there's your